Looking at my life, you would say it's pretty crazy, and many people ask how I got here and about my family and my past. To describe this, we have to go all the way back to the beginning of my life. In life, we have many defining moments, and I will be talking about 3 of those in my life today. When I look at the first 2 events, I see what that has to do with my family and the decisions that they have made, mainly to do with adoption. Looking at the final event, it is an event that changed me from within and not something changed for me like my siblings joining our family. It is what God did in my life and how He changed me. First, I'm going to talk about the first defining moment in my life. This was the day that we adopted my little sister. For 7 years of my life, I was an only child, dreaming of having a sibling. This dream all came true when my mother walked through the door of my 2nd grade classroom on January 16th, 2007. And she said, "We are leaving to go pick up your baby sister." Little did I know that my life and everything around me would change forever and never be the same. Here is a picture of my sister McKenna. This is a very crazy day, especially for a 7-year-old boy who was suddenly getting a sister who had never met and wasn't really related to in blood. And she was going to be my sister for the rest of my life. So we drove down to Tates Creek Christian Church in Lexington, Kentucky, where we picked her up from her foster parents. For some reason, I really wasn't nervous, probably because I had all of my family there and I was really more focused on the toys we were getting for her and that I was going to get to play with as well. Having all the attention quickly changed when we got my sister. It went from solely being on me to being split between me and her with my parents. And this did not bode well for a 7-year-old boy. Now that we've learned about how my life changed the first time, we will now learn how my life changed the second time. The first time my life was changed, it was a pretty big deal. But it will never compare to what happened when my life changed the second time. The second time was when we adopted my brother, Wesley. He was from Haiti. This might not sound like a big deal because my mom and dad had already adopted one of my siblings before, when I was 7. And how much more of a change or difference could it be? This one was definitely a much bigger change because we weren't just adding another kid to the mix, we were adding a kid from a different country and of a different race. Here's a picture of my brother. His name is Wesley. My mom and dad decided to adopt my brother when I was 12 years old, and it was laid on their hearts they should adopt from Haiti. This was a big deal during the process for me and my sister both because we both had to go down to Haiti to see him. Honestly, when we went down, I was very excited because we were going to be out of school for a week, and it was all for the wrong reasons. But this excitement quickly changed when we landed in the country. The poverty of Haiti is incredibly high and is nothing like I've seen in the United States. I immediately hated being there because all I saw around me was sadness and poverty. I then swore to never go back to the country again. Now that we have looked at the ways my parents changed my life through adoption, I will be talking about how God has changed my life. Like I stated earlier, God has changed my life in this last but definitely not least way. This last way was when I went back to Haiti. Although I give all the credit to God, it was my parents who eventually made me go back. In July of 2014, my parents went on a mission trip with a couple friends from our church, and after they came back, they highly encouraged me to go with them in 2015. I said no, and I said I would never go back again. Well, they came back in 2015, and my parents said again, yeah, you should go, and I said, no, I'm never going back, and my dad looked me dead in the eyes and said, that Dawson, it's not an option, you're going back. For me, being a 17-year-old, this was not a very pleasant thing to hear from your father when you think that you are on top of the world. So I just dismissed it, and I got really mad when it was brought up. When I went, this all changed, and seeing the people love me how they did and getting to teach little children about God and Jesus brought so much joy to me, and I give God all the credit, and without him I would still have a negative outlook on Haiti and would never have went back. In conclusion, after looking at the event and that happened in my life, you can see 2 things. My life was changed by the decisions my parents made, and my life was changed by what God has done. I am so thankful for both of these things and how they have changed me into the man I am today. Thank you.